On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, get ready for an amazing show. Kidder and I have a ton of hockey news to talk about. We got a little bit of wrestling news to talk about. We're going to talk about hamburgers for some reason. And Kidder does an unboxing, which is amazing because Kidder never unboxes anything. I know, the whole world's coming apart, but it's okay because you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that comes at you with all of the reckless abandon of wearing clown shoes in a minefield. I'm your host, the living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Well, there, Jaco. It's been a day. It's been a week. It's been a thing. So it is what it is. Here we are. I mean, I'm alive. I'll take that. Small steps. How you doing?
I'm actually
Cut my finger too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need a band? Do you need a Band-Aid?
No,
Good.
because you don't have any. Present.
You'd be correct because, Kidder, when I cut myself, I use super glue.
I have canned air.
No, fun fact for you, Kidder. Super glue was actually really created in World War II and was used as kind of a liquid bandage for wounds. So that's why it does so well at gluing, like appendages together. Kidder, I'm glad that you said my classic trademark line because it's been actually a decent week for me, but mostly because I took some days off. So I'm having my second 4-day weekend in a row. It's kind of nice. Spend time with the family, with the kids. We took them over to Mandan for their Christmas lights display that they have in Dykstra Park. Checked that out, took some photos. It was good times. And guess what, Kidder? As we were leaving, I happened to bump into somebody. And I literally had to bump into them because they didn't even notice I was there. Do you want to take a guess on who I may have run into at this event?
Well, I said Charlie Brown, but
No. This is an actual person. Someone we know.
Oh.
Someone to catch out in the wild is kind of a rare thing.
I'm going down a list. Because the older we get, the more it grows.
Well, I'll
Wow.
I'll put it this way.
I'm not drunk enough for this. I haven't had any alcohol.
Well, hang in there. This person is so rare for us to run into that there may be a lot of times where we've said hey, you should come game with us, and we get a no.
Your brother?
No. Good guess, though. No.
Well, we know it's not your dad.
It's not my dad. I'm not related to him. Trying to think what other hints I can give you. Okay. I'll give you this one. It'll give it away though. But they were in your wedding party. Huh?
It would have to be Will.
Yes. I ran into the good doctor. Yeah.
Well, good. It was his birthday.
He didn't mention it. Yes. Ran into him. Had a slight chat, which was kind of weird and awkward because for some reason he was under the impression that I wasn't in Bismarck anymore, but I'm still in Bismarck. I'm still doing the same job, but he thought that was different. So it was kind of no, I'm still doing what I was always doing. He asked about the podcast. He says, "You guys still doing that every week?" Which It's usually a great signal to me, like, hey, you don't listen. And I said, yeah. In fact, we're recording an episode tonight. He's like, oh, you do that from the studio?
We sure do.
I'm like, yeah, the comfort of our own homes. He's like, oh, that's better. I'm like, yeah, we can drink there.
I mean, yeah, we can drink here. We don't have to go anywhere. So makes it even better.
Exactly. And Kidder, let's get to drinking. Let's get to everybody's favorite segment of the show, and that is what's on tap. And sir, since you've been having the bad week, the honors are yours, good sir. What are you kicking us off with tonight?
That's just my bad shoulder. You know, old podcast injury. Let's see here. I mean, I got a couple things there, but it's Glendalough time.
Oh, he's pulling out the big guns.
Yep. This is Glendalough pot stilled Irish whiskey, very delicious. Do recommend adding this to your whiskey collection if you're a whiskey drinker. The man on the bottle is Saint Kevin, stood apart, and this whiskey does the same. This quintessentially Irish style of whiskey, pot still, is first matured in American oak, ex-bourbon casks. Then it's matured in Irish oak casks made from trees felled in the mountains around the distillery. While the bourbon casks soften and sweeten the whiskey, the higher levels of flavor in the Irish oak casks complement and balance the classic pot still spices. This is a 43% alcohol by volume and a 750 milliliters right here. This is aged for 3 years in the bourbon barrels, and then they finish it in the oak barrels after that. Let's see. This is bottle number 271 out of cask 2, batch number 1, and tree number 4. The cool thing is you can go on their website and then look for this specific information at the bottom of the bottle and then actually see the tree that they felled to make the cask. So let's get this from the Wicklow Mountains. Yeah. Just woohoo, yeah. For a second I thought I was going to have a party foul and spill some, but thankfully that did not happen. So Howard's not even watching the pour, so that was kind of disappointing, but I did the old classic. Little more.
I'll see it in the edit, man. I'll see it while I'm editing.
I should have been recording then. Oh, right. I guess you didn't say anything. Magic and wonders of technology. I don't know where I am.
So I like we've been doing the show for, a couple of years.
I mean, yeah, let's just, here we go. Just get a little, there we go. A little aftershave.
Ode to whiskey.
Yeah. There we go. Howard Blues, what do you have going on over there?
Well, Kidder, first I do have to ask, I sent you a little video on the whole freezer old-fashioned, and I meant to follow up with you. You going to do it? For anybody who didn't know, I found a video where a guy basically took a bottle of whiskey and mixed up his old-fashioned mix, and then he just stores it in the freezer. So anytime he wants an old-fashioned, he just pulls it out of the freezer, opens it up, pours it into his glass, ready to go. And I was just kind of curious, Kidder, because I sent it to you, I'm like, Kidder might enjoy this. Mm-hmm. So I was just going to follow up and go, You going to do it, man? Are you going to make yourself some freezer old-fashioned?
Sorry, I'm just enjoying this. I mean, yeah, it seems like a good idea at the time, but then it also seems like I need to then do that. So,
For anybody who hasn't known Kidder as long as I have, that is a Kidder no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, Kidder, for myself, I have 2 tasty brews. I'm gonna say they're tasty because hope to consume this evening, and we're into winter. I thought I would actually drink some winter beer, and hey, I actually think, Kidder, this is pretty close to like our Christmas episode. So,
Put the tree up. Got the tree.
Same. My tree's up as well.
Well, now you got to lean over. There you go.
I had see tree, right there. Anyway, so I'm starting off with this particular brew from the Surly Brewing Company. It is their Winterize Winter Lager. It is 6% alcohol by volume. There's nothing really for tasting notes on this. I looked at it earlier. What it does have is a pair of sticky notes with a to-do list on here. And it includes such things as tune-up snowblower, replace furnace filter, enjoy the first snowstorm of the season. Nobody does that. Try to remember who borrowed your jumper cables. Was it Dave? It was probably Dave.
Dave's not here.
Yeah, I know. Buy new choppers. Immediately lose one. Google Arizona real estate. Move car before snow emergency gets called. Get towed because you moved it to the wrong side. Laugh at your neighbor for getting his rear wheel drive beater stuck in a snowdrift. Help push him out anyway. Spend minimum of 1 day stranded at airport for spring break. And put winter gear away too soon. I have to take a little bit of critique, Kidder, with those last 2. Because that's not...
suck.
Yeah, because that's not winterizing. Like the first post-it note is clearly all winterizing, but you get to that second one and where it's, especially the bottom half where it's, spend a minimum day stranded at an airport for spring break. That's not winterizing, man. Clearly they had the idea for the post-it notes and such, and then they ran out of ideas for winterizing before they got, to the bottom. Like, they should have put down things like, hang your Christmas lights up before Thanksgiving so that, you don't have to do it in the snow. And the sniff test, it is a lager. Nothing overly coming through. It's not bad. Not bad. It's got a very weedy taste to it, Kidder, which I know you would enjoy. But otherwise, it's right kind of in the same lines, I'd say, of like a grain belt or any of your other kind of just classic lagers. But it's nice. It's smooth. It's got a very smooth taste to it. That's enjoyable. That is a very drinkable beer. Although you don't want to have too many of these with that 6% alcohol by volume.
I'm drinking straight, so
well,
here we go.
I get that you're doing that. I'm just saying, like, if you were to buy a 6-pack of this, don't drink the whole 6-pack. Why not? Well, some of us like to be functional the next day.
Oh, I was thinking you're just thirsty.
Listen, I mean, if I were to drink 3 of these, I'd be gone. But,
Where are you going?
I'm just saying.
Where'd you come from? Where did you go?
Don't sing that too loud. My wife will come down here ready to dance. It's one of her favorite wedding songs. I've actually had weddings where, like, me and her have been at different parts of, like, the reception area, and that song comes on, and she will hunt me down. It happens, man. Every time. So, Yeah, but no. As for a rating, I would probably give this a 4. It's decent. It's good. It's good. I'm going to enjoy that. So, first brew of the night, pretty tasty, pretty successful. So, speaking of Cotton Eye Joe, Kidder, I had the opportunity to work hockey today, and I passed. They apparently needed a goal judge to work 2 games, and I was like, no, I've been doing a lot of work. I'm wanting to spend time at home with the family, so I passed, and which is rare. I'm usually always a guy who says, "Yep, sign me up, I'll do it." But I'm trying to take a little bit more time and to focus in on myself and the things that bring me happiness, and such, like painting. Last night, Kidder, I actually opened all 4 of the Magic the Gathering Doctor Who Commander decks.
What?
Yeah, I opened them up.
I might leave it in the box forever.
I put the card box together. I shuffled through the cards, which are gorgeous. And 2, I love all of the Doctor Who art and all of the references kind of throughout. Like almost every card is a reference to Doctor Who.
I'd hope so, being a Doctor Who Magic card.
Well, right. Well, I mean, there are some that are reprints, but it's amazing how even the stuff that's a reprinted card, like the art that they got really is fitting for what the card title was and such. Kinder, it has one of your favorite episodes is a card that is Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Well, I didn't buy that set, so I don't need that.
Oh, it's in the set you have.
Damn it. Why would you do that?
I mean, I didn't do it. I'm just telling you.
It sounds like you did it. You personally and perfectly set it up, playing the long game.
I mean, no, but I'm glad that you think I have that much power over Wizards of the Coast. So, Kidder, when you eventually open yours, you will, of course, get your collector booster sample. And I think you also picked up one other collector booster pack. I was going to say...
Yeah, I'm waiting for that to show up.
Yeah. When you get those and you do open them, I ended up with my 4 sample booster things. I ended up with 2 copies of the 6th Doctor. So I'm willing to trade you one of those for anything you feel like trading. So I'll just throw that out there,
I get 2 6th Doctors.
Well, I'll trade you a 6th Doctor for a 6th Doctor in one of the most pointless trades ever.
Perfect. Sounds like the NHL. Cheers.
Yeah. So
makes no sense.
Just in case you do get a duplicate of something and you're like, I don't really want a duplicate. I am willing to do that.
I just blew the dust off it. I don't know, man. I mean, this box in 7 out of 10 condition. This looks great with the shiny, whiny, wibbly wobbly.
Yeah. And I will just tell you, Kidder, that is not a card.
I mean, that's good because I'd be super pissed if this was the card and they put it on the friggin' front to get all scratched up.
Yeah. No. There are 2. For a second thought the camera was in my microphone, so I don't know why I did that. 2 copies of the Doctor.
Look into my eyes when I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm over here now. Look in my eye.
Which camera am I on?
We haven't reached that quality production. We haven't even reached the quality of a production.
We'll get there, man. Yes, you get 2 of the foil 10th Doctor cards, including one of them is a bit thicker. It's got a much thicker quality. I think it's meant to definitely be your commander card, so that you can play with it and flip it and such and not wear it out. But it's so Just so you're aware.
Let me see. How do I open this without completely destroying everything? You don't.
You don't. You just open and destroy the box. It's okay. There's another box inside the box.
But I like this box. It's bigger on the inside, isn't it?
Actually, it's quite small on the inside.
That's why you're dying.
I'm just surprised you're going to open it now. I mean, I honestly didn't think you would, but
well, I might as well do it now because there's no time like yesterday.
Oh, well, I mean, that's when I did it, was yesterday.
See? Look, I actually opened something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You did a nicer job than I did opening mine. I kept trying to open them on the top. You were
yes.
You were smart. You went in through the bottom. But I knew I wasn't keeping those boxes, so.
Oh, well. Or it should be a kind of TARDIS-y sound. So there's that. Fancy special cards.
That would be your plane chase deck, and your booster sampler is in there.
Ah, the booster sampler. Okay, so then out of here, I guess there's right there the counters.
Yep, yeah. And there's some on the sides too.
Yes, I see. And we have the Doctor,
which you can punch out as a little token for, I don't know, some sort of use.
Tolkien?
No, they already did the Lord of the Rings set.
No, like South Park. I know you haven't seen that episode, but
I haven't seen most episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You naming episodes of South Park is like you naming people we went to high school together with.
I mean, most of them ended up at UND, so I dissociate them somewhere else.
No.
Don't you remember that group on Facebook?
No. I don't join a lot of groups on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were in it back in the day because it was I went to Century and I recognized half the people here, something to that effect. Why is this booster pack feel like it only has 2 cards? What a crock of garbage.
Well, again,
probably because it's the special edition.
Yeah, it more than likely they will be rares and possibly
they
foils.
Better be freaking rare for the price of the freaking packaging and the box set. Come on now. Woo. Look, it's 1960s Doctor Who. Let's see. I have card protectors. Always play safe cards.
Kitter's now digging into one of his many drawers. He's grabbing some card protectors. He's giving him the old wiggle test. He's still digging. What else might be he finding in there? It's yeah, still digging, possibly, maybe. Seems like he's got something. He shuffles back to the computer.
Ta-da!
Hey, it's back at card sleeves.
I was thinking that I had a whole deck's worth of the hard cases, but apparently I don't at the moment. So maybe I should have ordered those when I ordered these. Okay.
He's opening it, folks. He's cracking the pack.
Yeah, this is a rarity, so it's a good thing that this is being recorded.
I'm glued to watching this because it's like, oh my gosh, Kidder's opening something.
The anticipation's probably just killing you.
No, not really. Not just.
Wow. Well, then I'll just put these down for later.
I mean, you can open it up. I mean,
No. Your interest level, it seems like it's pretty low, so I'll just wait until later.
but my interest level is fine. I'm just saying, I'm not like I'm dying over here to find out what you got going on.
Kind of seems
I'm
like
just curious. You know,
Yeah.
what's it gonna be? What did he end up with?
magic.
be happy
That's
with
what I ended up with magic.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me foil this. Oh, for crap's sakes. They're the slightly larger ones, so they're too big for the damn sleeve. Yep. Yep. There he is. The sixth Doctor himself. I'm guessing that's the same card that you got as well.
It is.
Hey, scan this, and then you can discover the coolest cards ever. And then Pandora's Box, which oddly looks very much like a Borg cube.
Yeah, the Pandorica. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Nice.
I mean,
nice.
I can put that in this one.
Yeah. A nice draw. Nice draw.
I wonder if I have larger sleeves over here. This is some bull.
But that is funny. The odds that you got the sixth Doctor out of all of the other ones. I mean, I know I got two. So I was like, oh, well, that's okay. I'll trade one to Kidder, and that'll be fine. He'll be happy with getting a sixth Doctor. And wouldn't you know it? Kidder drew a sixth Doctor. He's still looking for larger sleeves. Which makes for great audio listening. I don't know. I'm unable to put words together tonight. It's interesting. I haven't drank that much. Clearly drink more, but trying to carry the show now.
I mean, I got a couple more of the hard cases of various sizes. Well, sixth Doctor, you can hang out in here.
He'll like it. It's probably bigger on the inside.
It's the tapping for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just funny.
Now, are all these the same?
They are. They are a set, but they're kind of cool to look at and see. It, you know, if you're a Doctor Who fan like we are, they're all locations relevant to the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctor.
Hoping to get us as ASMR listeners. Definitely not the viewers with the way that I look. So, all right. So there's the Lux Foundation library. Lux Eterna. Silence.
Yeah. The silent library.
It would be okay. It would be great if it just did the focusing there. So that's cool. All right. So we got 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Nobody cares about this one. The astronaut from the lake. There you go. Plains Earth with the little station wagon there. Next up, we have Amy's house. Again, this is the 10th Doctor set. I think they forgot. There we go. The Ood sphere. All hail the Ood. Okay, there we go. Next up, we have The Human Time Lord Metacrisis. I didn't know that was like a land card or place, but
it's a phenomenon which can appear within plane chase. Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you'd say phenomenon again, because then I could say doot 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 doot.
I struggled to say it the first time, so
the happiest and saddest place in the universe. There we go with the 2 smartest facility. Okay. All right. The anticipation's killing me. The Prime Minister's Candid Room. That one has probably appeared in several of the Doctor's series over the years.
But most notably with the current run of the Master, or at least the the 10th Doctor's run with the Master, where the Master became Prime Minister.
Yeah. And New York. There you go. And finally, Pompeii, where we get a sneak peek of the 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
But not the actual 12th Doctor. It was just that he used that individual's face because he was... how did he word it? That he was sad, and that way he always remembered.
Yeah.
Well, if the flipping thing would do the thing. Oh, well, it did it for a second. So there you go. All right. Well, there's those. How about that? That's quite the reveal. I don't have a protective sleeve big enough for those.
Yeah, those are fairly large. I don't have protective sleeves for them myself. I kept them back in the envelope, much like you're doing.
And the winner is Rum Rocket Rumors.
Of course it would be.
Okay.
You ever wonder what ever happened to Scotch and Scuttlebutt? You never hear anything about that show.
They probably sold out.
Sorry, a little winterized down the wrong pipe.
That's why you should prepare and put air in your tires. All right, here's... Jeez.
Yeah, careful. There's a lot of stuff on that other side.
Good Lord, people. Doctor!
Mm-hmm. It's your spin down counter.
I will just out of the gate with all of this. I mean, I do like the packaging. I like the pieces and everything, but why did we have to use the latest iteration of the Doctor Who logo? Why could we not use this logo right here?
I'm guessing that was part of the licensing agreement. Yeah. Now, Kidder, but before you do that, I'm just going to tell you, there is a strip around kind of the top third that you can, that you can do. That's a little bit easier than trying to pull at the top. I learned that on deck 4 last night.
That was a poor enough rendition that we won't get sued.
We'll probably get hit with like the original like first Doctor's theme, because that wasn't always the best quality.
So as I'm attempting to get a hold of said strip on the side here, which I mean, I might get to the point and just F it and leave it closed. Did you know the new series, special series, has begun.
Yep. The missus and I have yet to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're hoping to find an evening to watch it. We've been having a lot of trouble getting the kids to go to bed. So it makes it a little frustrating because then, by the time they get to bed, then it's like, we've had some rough nights. You just don't always necessarily like, man, I'm so tired. I don't really want to start Doctor Who because, you might fall asleep during it. That's just not fun. So, but maybe tomorrow night we'll check it out. So, hey, if you were tuning in thinking like, hey, they might actually discuss the newest special, come back in a week.
Well, remember, there's another episode tomorrow.
Hey, see, so you'll get 2 for the price of 1. Which is good. Gives us a couple episodes to review. Have you watched it yet, Kidder? Have you have you seen it?
Sure did.
All right. Kidder's gonna have to hold his comments until next week.
Man, I see what you said about the cardboard foil-ish card, but why? Why have the exact same?
I told you the one is kind of a card to play with as your commander.
And then this is you just put in your deck.
No, you wouldn't put it in your deck. You would put it in your collection.
Huh? I'll show you, freaking people.
Yeah. It's so you have the one that uses your commander and the other one, you can put in your collection. Truthfully, I don't know why they give you 2. It doesn't make sense, but I'm not going to complain about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Extra foily.
Mm-hmm. Twice the foil, twice the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rose Tyler.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing a lot of these are the same, or that it is the same deck.
That I have? Yes. Yep. It is a pre-built 100 card deck for playing Commander. So your cards are the exact same as my cards. So I've already seen them all.
Good old Wilfred.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I told you a lot of fun stuff as you dive into this.
Everybody lives.
Everybody
just
hurts.
Once. Everybody lives. Yeah.
I took it a different way. Sorry.
Everybody hurts.
There we go. I was going to put that much commitment into it, Kidder, but thank you. Thank you for making up on my slacking.
4 knocks. A regular version of the Pandorica.
Yeah.
The Wedding of River Song. The Adipose Offspring.
Yep.
Astrid. Kylie Minogue is still making new music, just in case you were curious.
I wasn't, but thanks for the update.
Hey, you know what? That's me. I'm here to give you updates on people who made music around the year 2000 and to today. The Girl in the Fireplace. Old Martha Jones. The Nanogene Conversation. Oh, a fresh duplicate. That's a straight out of hell. All of History All at Once. The 11th Hour. Very depressing time. Donna Noble. Amy Pond. The Ecstatic Beauty. Oh, the RMS Titanic. How about that? Ooh, a 2-card. Coward or Killer. Bad Wolf, The Parting of Ways. Ah, the Ninth Doctor. Fantastic. Sally Sparrow. And your favorite episode.
Yep. Blink.
There's Mrs. Tennant. Jenny, the generated anomaly, who is a Time Lord soldier. Oh, Rory, the man who waited. 11th Doctor. We'll just... And the War Doctor. Regeneration restored. Ah, the soul of the TARDIS, Idris. In the face of Bo.
I was going to just say that Soul of the TARDIS, Idris, that particular episode, Kidder, was one of the ones written by Neil Gaiman, who we talked about last episode.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Run! Ah, the Day of the Doctor, yes. Gallifrey Falls. No more. From the 50th special. Oh, look. There it is. We'll just toss that off into nothingness. Old Kate Stewart. The rotating fireplace. The moment. The Transalore clock tower. The grasp of fate. One last chance to say goodbye, Rose Tyler. I burned up a star to say goodbye. The farewell. I don't want to go. We're out of time with all of the doctors. The wedding ring. The refrain. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No. As foretold. Fractured identity. A port town, the exotic orchard, the Temple of Triumph, the Temple of Enlightenment, the Prairie Stream.
So,
Strictly speaking, it's the 15th New York since the original. So that's it. Makes it new York.
Yeah. See, so Prairie Stream is a reprint card, Kidder. But this is what I mean by like the flavor. Like they tied it into an episode. The flavor text reads, from an episode. And therefore, that's what I mean. Like they did an excellent job bringing Doctor Who into it.
The farmland, the deserted beach with the space band, glacial fortress, the sky cloud expanse, Temple of Epiphany, Frost Broil Snare, Thespian Stage, Fury Calm Snare, The War Room, Let's Kill Hitler. And then the episode has minimal to do with that. Sunbaked Canyon, Sundown Pass. This was a good episode. Storm Carved Coast, the Fiery Islet, Atraxi Warden, the Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, People assume time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. The Time Beetle, a Star Whale, the Sibley Line Soothsayer, the Judon Enforcers. The old psychic paper. What's this one saying to you tonight?
Drink more beer and buy our merch.
You gotta shake that out. It's supposed to say, help us live. I order you and command you. The TARDIS. Now, in my opinion, the TARDIS should have been a foil card.
I'm sure there are foil TARDISes out there.
The old sonic screwdriver from the 9th Doctor. The arcane signet, a soul ring, clock spinning. This one was definitely something to see back in the 10th Days, a Thought Vessel, the Mind Stone. You will be deleted. The Talisman of Creativity, Lightning Greaves, Talisman of Conviction, Bow ties are cool. Evolving Winds, the Command Tower. How a TARDIS should look. Path of Ancestry, Temple of a False God, Myriad Landscape, Thriving Bluff, Mystic Monastery, Ominous Cemetery, Rogue's Passage. That's a nice Plains. That's a nice one. Like that one. And that one, and that one. Even though it's the same.
Yeah,
I put it out of order.
Yeah, the lands are gorgeous.
Island in the Sun, Island, Mountain. Token creatures of soldiers.
They're double-sided.
Yeah. And they're different. Oh, look, a dinosaur. Horse, treasure, clue, human noble, food. Look at that. There you go. You get your fish sticks. Copy. An adipose. And a dinosaur. Adipose and a copy. A dinosaur and a copy. Dinosaur and an adipose. A copy and a soldier. And then instructions. Well, there we go.
Yep.
That's something.
And it comes with a deck box and a plane chase die. So don't miss those.
That's what this thing is. Snap it into place here, I guess.
Yeah. There you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
So until you get the right sleeves, man.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, they worked for the other Magic cards, so magically you spend more money. So what else is happening there, Jaco?
Well, gosh, now that we've gone through all of that.
So these work. Which are the same ones that I had, mind you.
Well, Kidder, when it comes to the old run sheet, we got a couple different directions we can go. We can talk wrestling. We could talk hockey. I can talk about something that's going on with Disney. And I can talk to you about a stupid trend. What would you like to hear, good sir?
Well, Disney kind of works with Doctor Who because the new specials are available on Disney Plus in the US.
All right. So, Kidder, I don't know if you've seen this, but Disneyland had a little bit of an incident happen just a couple of days ago that has gone viral. And what it is, and I'll read the headline. I found an article to explain this, but this is Disneyland Streaker arrest video goes viral. Yeah. So, just to read from this article, a man was arrested after getting naked at Disneyland Park in California. And now a video of the incident has gone viral on TikTok. According to Jonathan McClintock, a spokesman for the Anaheim Police Department who previously spoke to reporters, officers were called to the theme park in Anaheim shortly after 1:30 p.m. on Sunday to assist Disneyland security with a visitor who had taken off his clothes and was naked in or near the It's a Small World attraction.
It's not the only Small World attraction that was being seen.
That's not the only joke like that that's been made for this incident. Upon officers' arrival, they arrested a 26-year-old man for indecent exposure and, wait for it, the big surprise to no one, for being under the influence of a controlled substance. Now, in a recent clip uploaded to social media, a man can be seen being escorted out of the theme park by police and security. Near the end of the video, as people watch on, a woman can be seen covering the eyes of a child naked. Oh, he is naked, full naked. Oh my God. Someone can be heard saying in the background.
Good effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all right. We just saw a naked guy. Yes, naked, be pulled out and arrested in Small World. Someone please tell me the scoop. TikTok user to Disney. That was a weird sentence. Anyway, and Beyond wrote in a text in the video. The video has amassed more than 4 million views, more than 341,000 likes, and over 25,000 shares. Some people took to the comment section to make jokes about the incident. If I'm going to be naked, it's definitely not going to be in a place called Small World, one person wrote. Another said, when you need a small world to feel big. However, not everyone was amused. One person wrote, considering Disney is mostly meant for kids, I hope he's put on the registry.
And
the video...
and it's not for wish.com.
Yeah. The video has been shared to X, formerly Twitter, where at the time of writing, it had received over 128,000 views and 1,000 likes. It isn't the only clip of the incident that has made its way to social media, as Instagram user @Magic with Megara uploaded a video to the platform that showed the man who was wearing underwear at the time sitting next to a group of singing animatronic dolls. Guys, please don't do this. Not only is it dangerous for you, it's dangerous for everyone on the ride, the user wrote in a comment on the video. Stop, you're going to hurt. You're going to get hurt. Stop. I need you to stop. Please just sit down. A person can be heard shouting at the man in a clip. The user added a comment on their post. He ended up running off the ride naked, but safely got detained by security and went off in an ambulance to get help. Disneyland officials told the television station KTLA that the man had stepped out of the ride's vehicle while the attraction was in operation. According to the station, employees stopped the ride as soon as they were made aware of the situation.
So this was at Disneyland.
This was at Disneyland. Yes, I've seen some of the videos of this guy, and he is clearly out of it. And yeah,
classic California man.
I mean, you know, this is what happens when you make certain substances legal. You're gonna run into this crap,
or run off a ride and share your dangling spirit with everyone around you.
Yeah, now that's one more reason to hate It's a Small World. I mean, that ride already gets a bad rap for the song, but now the fact that somebody might do something like that.
After all.
Yeah. Yes. But I just had to share that, Kidder, because that just it's the kind of stuff that we run into out in the world, and it's worth sharing. Now you all know about it. Yep.
You're welcome, 8 viewers. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe.
Hey, we've been picking up some subscribers. I'd like to say thank you to everyone in Oklahoma who's been tuning in, because we've had a lot of people from Oklahoma tuning in, and we appreciate you, Oklahoma.
Is that where the wind comes sweeping down the plain?
Wasn't going to make that joke because they're probably sick of it, and now there goes our listeners from Oklahoma.
Good thing they're not actually listening. They're just watching it.
Well, I only get to see where they're from the audio side, so they are actual listeners.
My apologies for making that joke that's like 85 years too late.
Yeah. Anyway,
And it's been a few years, so you're lucky because I would make a reference to the rest of the parts of the song. But it's been long enough where I haven't had a reason to sing it. And so there goes that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah. This is going to take me a minute.
All right, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll continue to host this show while you sleeve some cards. But again, Kidder, what direction now would you like to go? So, stupid trend, hockey, or wrestling?
Well, if we talk about hockey, I have current this second news for you.
Well, then let's hit some hockey, which we got a lot to talk about in the old hockey sphere. It was a very newsworthy week, but
busy week, yes.
Let's
right now, this very second, UND, North Dakota Fighting Sioux, on the road in the Mile High City, home of your Colorado Avalanche. And at this moment, in the third period, with under 6 minutes remaining, Denver University 5. Your University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux 5.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a high-scoring hockey game.
Denver won on a scoring spree in about 3 minutes and scored 4 goals. So, and that was in the first period.
I haven't drank enough for this kind of news.
Right after UND scored. Yeah. So. That's that game still in progress, and anytime now we'll get some notices to what's happening. I'm sure because I'm up on that, and even though I am preoccupied with something that isn't as important as this show, but yet I find myself doing it anyway. In fact, right there at 16:25 in the third period, Reese Gaber scoring a power play goal. UND pulls ahead into the lead 6-5. So we're under 4 minutes remaining.
Good. Hey, Kidder, isn't this kind of a weird episode where I'm actually doing a lot of the hosting of the show talking and you're doing the weird hobby thing? I have yet to paint anything. It's a weird role reversal where I'm the one looking at the camera and engaging, and you're looking down and sleeving cards. It's.
Oh, I'm engaged.
Oh, really? What's the wedding?
5.5 years ago. Don't get married.
Sorry, that was just up there. I've been drinking. Anyway, yes.
It was out there. You should have been there 5.5 years ago.
I was there.
Yeah, you really should have been there.
I left early.
That's what I'm saying.
After being kind of snarky, yeah.
Typical.
Story for another time.
Very sad last night. Went to sleep. Colorado Avalanche on the road in Arizona. And not truly Phoenix because, even before they weren't truly in Phoenix. And I can't remember the arena's name, but it's at Arizona State University. Scoring update, 16 minutes, 52 seconds of the third period. University of North Dakota 7, Denver 5. So last night, watched the first 2 periods of the Colorado Avalanche and the Arizona Coyotes. And it was a pretty good game. Colorado took the lead. Ended up getting tied up, and then Arizona scored in overtime, picking up the win last night. So, unfortunately, the Avs did not get their 5th win in a row. picked up the L on the road in Arizona, and I think they play again tomorrow night.
Well, Kidder, allow me to transition to some news from the hockey world that maybe will lift your spirits after that Colorado Avs loss. The first, let's go to the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah,
because you love it when we talk the Minnesota Wild,
especially when somebody gets fired.
Well, that wasn't the story I was going to go to first, but I guess I will. The
Wild.
The big news last week was the Minnesota Wild fired their head coach and one of their assistant head coaches after the team lost 13 of the last 16 games.
Hell yeah!
So hang on. What was also interesting was they're not even having an interim head coach. They've already appointed somebody to be the new head coach, which tells you there were some interviews, there were some things going on. It's like, you're out, this guy's in.
Yeah.
So
see, the funny thing with the new coach, though, his previous record up to this point is just as bad as the coach they just fired. Obviously, not a coach of an NHL team. However, when you have the win-loss record that's almost as bad as the person you're relieving, you're really getting somewhere. Hell, we could go coach the Minnesota Wild.
I mean, I would take the salary for the year until they realize that I knew nothing and shouldn't be coaching. I'll take that.
That part doesn't matter because clearly they don't either. So
I'm just saying, man, if I could sneak in, make a couple million to coach the Wild out of this season, and then be like, we're firing you. I'm like, well, that's okay. I got my retirement.
I'm not getting fired. I'm retiring. I'm out of here.
I'm going.
I'm going.
Yeah.
So that fire me. I'm not as bad as you think I am.
Actually, I'd probably be like, yep, I'm actually as bad as you think I am, and you're the idiot for actually having hired me.
That's why you can't fire me. Because you're a bigger idiot than me. Plus, we'd be sabotaging the team whenever the Avs came to town. No, pull our goalie. Why? It's 3 minutes into the game. We got to take our chances. We got to get ahead early.
We got Fleury. Well, one of the best goalies in the league right now. We got Fleury. We'll be fine.
He needs to rest till the next game. We're gonna put in Jose the janitor. He's never played. He doesn't even know what hockey is. He works in the arena. He's qualified.
Oh, speaking of Fleury, Kidder, Fleury got himself into a little bit of hot water
again.
Well, so here's the deal. He had a special goalie mask made up to celebrate Native American Heritage Day. Fine. The league told him he was not allowed to wear it during warm-ups, and that if he did, he would be fined. And Marc-Andre Fleury said, screw it, I'm wearing it anyway. And so he did actually wear the mask out. It was a nice-looking mask, honestly. And
but during warm-ups?
Yeah. Yeah, they're pushing back. So there was the whole kind of controversy over and we didn't really talk about it on the show because we try to stay out of the political and some of that, but there was all the controversy over some of the players not wanting to wear like the pride jerseys for for Pride Night that they wear mostly during warm-ups and such. And so the NHL decided to just kind of remove any sort of pandering is not quite the right word, but I'm going to use it. Pandering, or promotion of kind of just get rid of that in general. Like, hey, we're just not going to do that. Keeps us out of the controversy. If we just do a blanket, no, we don't do that for anything. And so that's kind of what happened with that. And so when Marc-Andre Fleury says, I want to do this, they said no. And he's like, screw it, I'm doing it anyway. And truthfully, I've seen the mask, and Future Howard will put up a picture of it. It's just a mask. There's nothing on it that like really is like screaming a message. It's just a white mask with some kind of floral designs. Okay, now I need to pull this up so that I can get Kidder's reaction, because
whoa, too much of a reaction all of a sudden.
Yeah. Give me a sec. So this right here is the mask that he got in trouble over.
Well, it's a bit flowery.
I mean, his nickname is the Flower, but like, there's nothing on it to me that like screams like any sort of message. It's a white mask with some floral designs on it that is in a very traditional kind of Native American style. I've seen a lot of that in things like bandolier bags and such. But there's nothing that says like support Native Americans or Native American Heritage Day. So I think this is a kind of the league making a bigger deal out of something than they should.
A little heavy-handed, yeah.
Yeah. But kudos to Fleury for wearing that anyway, sticking by his principles and just saying, hey, I'm going to wear it and I'll pay the fine. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate it, regardless of what the message is. I can, especially for a design like that really is kind of a nothing. So, but moving from the wild to just interesting penalties, Kidder.
All right.
I saw one just tonight, and so I don't know how recent it was. But I saw this. It was in a game between the Detroit Red Wings and the New York Rangers. And the basics of it, two players, and I'm sorry, I didn't get their names. I am not a professional journalist. But two players, the puck is moving out of...
Not a journalist.
Yeah. Is moving out of the Rangers end. They both turn to skate after the puck, and it looks like the Rangers skater swings his stick up, hitting the Detroit Red Wings player smack in the face. And of course, he gets the penalty, and it's a 4 minutes
for blood,
for a high stick. So a double minor for a high stick.
Probably, right? Because there was blood.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the great thing. The play goes under video review. Now you got to be thinking, like, clearly the Detroit Red Wings player is bleeding. Clearly he got hit by a stick.
Clearly bleeding.
Yes. This should be an open shut case. No, Kidder. Here's what happened. As they go skating around, the Detroit Red Wings player reaches down, grabs the Ranger player's stick, throws it up, hits himself in the face, and then does the whole, my face. So they review this. The ref comes back on the ice. He goes, on video review, the Detroit Red Wings player grabbed the opposing player's stick and hit himself in the face, no penalty. So that for once, video replay actually providing some justice.
Yeah.
But kudos to the Detroit Red Wings player for the commitment to bloody one's own face for a penalty.
I mean, that's a bit much, but good on you for making that happen.
And then,
so I can't use this at all in my deck.
well, you can use one as your commander, but you can't use the other one. Because in commander, you can only use cards that match your commander's mana cost. So if your commander is blue-red, you can only use blue and red. But you can also only use one card for each name. So you can't have duplicates of any cards in your deck except for basic lands. So Kidder, here's how you have to look at it. And I know this maybe goes against. You have one card to use in your commander deck. You have another card to keep and collect and keep it pristine, and it'll never get damaged. That's how you have to look at it.
Or just be smart and put it in a hard case like this.
Right. But I'm saying you have one for your collection to keep it pristine, and the other one is your commander. There you go.
All right, Howard, you're gonna love this. You ready for this?
Nice.
Collection indeed.
Yeah.
And I might as well put the Sixth Doctor up there too, because
you might as well. You know what I also thought was interesting about that set, Kidder? Is on the outside of the box, they promoted, you get the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctor. They didn't mention you got the War Doctor at all. So when I was flipping through the deck, that was the big surprise for me.
Yeah, I would I would much rather take that Doctor than the 11th Doctor. They could put him in his own little world.
Yeah. Kidder,
yeah.
I got one more hockey story bit of news, but I'm out of beer.
Oh.
And I kind of feel like
another.
I need another. So I'm going to start, pause on the hockey to move to everybody's second favorite segment of the show. And that is What's on Tap? Round 2. Drink. And since this is our Christmas episode, at least by my estimation, our Christmas episode, I figured it fitting to go to the Breckenridge Brewery and have their Christmas ale.
Very festive of you.
I know. It is a malty, full-bodied winter warmer, whatever that means. And hey, Kidder, here's the fun part. I actually just made the beer run tonight because I'm like, I need some beer for the show. And I'm like, oh, it should be our Christmas episode. I picked up 2 winter beers for this. I would have picked up more, but there's actually some other really interesting things that I just like, okay, I'm going to go with this. Here's the thing, and I wouldn't normally do this on a show because this guy was a 6%. Kidder, this is a 7.1% alcohol by volume.
Perfect.
So we're getting heavier as we go.
Let's do it. Let's get heavy.
But I have no other information. I have no idea what this is going to be, except that it is a winter ale. I'm going to take a quick sip of a palate cleanser.
As you're cleansing your palate, this, and this.
Yes.
Symbols of what?
So that's for when you play Plane Chase. That's using your Plane Chase deck. On your upkeep, you get to roll the die for free. If you get the magic symbol, that's the one that looks like a claw, you get to move to another plane. So you would take and draw the next card off your Plane Chase deck, and that will have some special rules that affect the game. The other symbol, the one that kind of looks like a yin yang, is the chaos marker. And if you roll that, then at the bottom of the current plane that you're on, there's a bit of chaos that happens when you're there.
All right.
I know this only because I maybe watched a video of people playing Magic Commander Plane Chase. Nothing on the smell to give me any real hint of what I'm about to engage in, Kidder.
Whoop speed.
So cheers. Huh. Well, that is definitely a darker, maltier beer. It's got a bit of a fruity taste in there as well. Almost a cranberry taste to it.
Like a holiday meal, huh?
Kind of. It's a very weedy, definitely a darker beer. But yeah, it's got a stinger of like a fruit taste, and I'm getting cranberries is what I'm kind of getting, or at least something along those lines. That said, it's better than a Black-o'-lantern, like I had that one Halloween. I'd give it a 3.5. It's definitely better than some of the specialty like holiday beers and such that I've had on this show in the past. But this is definitely something I'd only want to drink like once or twice around the holidays. So, but it's not bad. Not bad. I was a little worried. But cheers to you, good sir.
Cheers.
All right. So this last bit of hockey news, Kidder, you already know about because I sent it to you. I sent Kidder. I stumbled upon this short video. It's a ref. He's at the center of ice. And he's calling, hey, penalty on the Ottawa Senators. Player, and I forget the player number. It was the Tkachuk brother, and I can't remember if it's Brady or Matthew. But anyway, one of the Tkachuks. And it was 2 minutes for goalie interference, 2 minutes for roughing, and then a penalty called on an opposing player from the Panthers, 2 minutes for roughing, and then for all other players on the ice, 10-minute misconduct. Which, that's where the video clip ended. And I sent it to Kidder because I'm like, what the heck? Kidder's like, oh my gosh. And basically the conversation bounced back and forth like, we need to find this so we can talk about it. Because like, what on earth happened? Because Kidder, I've never heard of every player on the ice getting a game misconduct.
I mean, that's only when you officiate.
I mean, truthfully, it's because I'm tired. I want to go home. Let's just get them done. But Kidder, this all happened in the third period with only 8 minutes left to go. So basically, all of the skaters on the ice, minus the two goalies, were ejected from the game. Is what we ended up with. And I have a news story because I'm like, what on earth happened? And so this is the story that we got here. Yeah, we'll skip the text at the beginning. The players involved in a given scrum are usually the only ones who face punishment, but Monday's game between the Ottawa Senators and the Florida Panthers resulted in more wide-ranging penalties. Things were already chippy throughout the majority of the game, but a full-fledged fight broke out during the third period. Shortly after the brawl ended, every skater who was on the ice at the time was thrown out of the game. The Panthers held a commanding 4-0 lead in the third period when Senators player Brady Tkachuk, I knew it was a Tkachuk, Entered the game and had a quick breakaway. Kachuk's shot did not make it into the net, promoting the Senators' captain to try and score off the rebound. The Panthers player Dmitry Kluikov. I'm sorry, I'm not a Panthers fan, and I'm sorry I butchered your name. Anyway, we'll go with Dmitry. Proceeded to use his hockey stick to drive Kachuk towards the boards. Both teams then reacted, causing multiple altercations to break out. At one point, the situation appeared to calm down until a punch was thrown and things began to escalate again. I believe Kachuk threw the punch, if I recall from the video. Kachuk was ultimately assessed with a 2-minute penalty for goalie interference. He also received a 2-minute penalty for roughing. Meanwhile, Dmitry was penalized 2 minutes for roughing. But the biggest moment happened when referee Garrett Rank, which good on you, Garrett, made the unexpected announcement when there were around 7 minutes remaining. Every player on the ice has a 10-minute misconduct. Given the penalties and the remaining playing time, the punishments were essentially player ejections. Despite the limited player availability for both teams for the rest of the game, the Panthers managed to score one more goal. The final score was 5-0. Senators player Zach McEwen was already been thrown out of the game before the full scale scrum. As usual, as a 10-player ejection is, as unusual as a 10-player ejection is, Kachuk touted the importance of playing hockey, frames of emotion. I don't think we need to hear his quote. Later in the third period, 2 additional skaters received misconduct penalties. Those penalized created a total of 167 penalty minutes for the game. However, the 2004 game between the Senators and the Philadelphia Flyers still holds the record for most total penalty minutes in a game. 16 players were tossed from that game, resulting in 419 penalty minutes. So, Kidder, I shared the video because I later, as we were discussing, it's like, we need to find out what happened. I found the video. I sent it to you. I want your reaction to this, because my reaction upon seeing the video and the altercation, I was kind of like, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
That got everybody kicked off the ice? I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by it.
Yeah, it wasn't completely outrageous, but I'm guessing that there was just so much happening throughout the game that the official just went, all right, this is dumb. We're done dealing with this crap. And just started throwing haymakers in penalties.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's the case, that they have let it build. And that usually is what happens in all the hockey that I've watched as an off-ice official and just as a fan. If you don't have control of the game from the get-go and you allow it to get chippy, at some point there's going to be a breaking point. And usually that's when somebody gets hurt or there's a major scrum. So you have to assert control, and maybe that's what this, Garrett Rink was trying to do. Assert some control and go, okay, knock it off. We got 7 minutes left. Let's finish this game. We all want to go home, and maybe it's that, but usually, it says something that we had that many penalties, that many issues and such kind of throughout the game. But yeah, I was a little disappointed when I found the clip and I'm like, wait, that's it? It didn't seem like it quite had warranted that. And I would also say, I'm pretty sure that there are some individuals in that who, like, if you watch enough hockey fights, there's always like the one or two guys that are like, they grab onto each other and they just kind of stand there. And they're like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. How's the wife? How's the kid? Oh, they're great. You're great. Glad being down here in Florida. Having a great time. We're going to go to Disneyland tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great
changing recipes.
Right. They're not really caring about the other stuff. So I'm sure that there were some people who got ejected. Like, man, if I knew I was going to get ejected, I at least would have thrown a punch,
Yeah.
So, but it was interesting, and definitely worth us chatting about. That's for sure. So, but woo, I think that brings us up through all of the like weird and relevant hockey news of the day, Kidder. So,
a little bit, but Bobcats win over St. Cloud 4-3. Final in a shootout in St. Cloud. And as promised and mentioned as we were going through the final in Denver, Denver Pioneers 5, your University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux 7. Way to go.
Don't know why I felt the need to throw out fingers and such, as if people don't know, 5 and 7. Anyway, I've been drinking.
I do like the fingers, and you almost had a finger pistols there too. So I mean, you're easy. We don't need SWAT to show up at your house. Okay, calm down.
I'm trying, man. I'm just fired up. We're having a good show. I'm drinking decent beer for once.
Yeah, this is pretty good compared to what I thought it was going to be when we started this thing.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're now having it. Welcome everybody to the first ever Triple B halftime report. We're doing pretty good tonight.
Yeah, right at the beginning there, Howard, it looked like it was getting pretty rough, but they really leaned into the alcohol. They got a second beer going, after the first one started flowing, that was the key turning point of this match. Right there, midway through the half, that just started flowing right there. First beer into the second beer, you could see that there was a whole lot of action happening, and then right through the middle, bam, there's no chance of the defense. That's going to score every single time.
And let's not forget, there, Kidder, Howard started off a little rough. He clearly was not being able to put words or sentences together in any sort of intelligible way. But he seems to have loosened up. He's found his flow. Things are going well. However, I would be concerned. We know that the more he drinks, the worse this is going to get. So watch out in this third and fourth half or period. I don't know how do you break up a podcast? That's the weird thing.
You're talking about talking, and then you just completely word vomit all over the place.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Royal Rumble's coming up. And
yes.
Outback Steakhouse has a new bone-in ribeye with bourbon onion. Man, I need an Outback right now.
Truthfully, when you're like Royal Rumble's coming up at Outback, I thought you were going to say is sponsoring a match. That's the transition. I was not expecting Royal Rumble and hey, new item at Outback.
No,
I mean, I did not
right now. I could go for a juicy steak.
I did not see that swerve coming. Kidder, that's definitely got to be the DraftKings screwy finish of the night.
Hold on, let me get this isn't live. I don't need it. It's time. I got to do that. Oh, it's not my problem.
Yeah, no, that's a future Howard problem. He's got to put that graphic back up for that. Just when he thought he was done.
You're probably sitting there like, where the frick did I put that thing?
It's in the folder labeled show graphics, which are graphics specifically that show up on multiple shows versus my graphics folder, which is just all of the loose junk I have collected in popping up different things throughout, the past 2 years. I know exactly where it is. But hey, since we're speaking wrestling and Royal Rumble, Kidder, did you watch Monday Night Raw?
I sure did.
Because I'm hearing some stuff about a promo by one CM Punk, who is...
Yeah!
And I'm curious your take on it, and then I'll share what I've heard. And because I want to hear from you what you thought of his performance and such.
I thought the promo was the last thing in the episode. Right at the very end, I thought it was a pretty standard CM Punk promo. I think there was a lot that was really nice in the pieces of him saying that he screwed up. He mentioned Paul Heyman as a roundabout, as the wise man, once telling him that maybe he needed to leave for things to get better so he could come back. He's grown, he's changed, he's better. And then the last bit that he's not here to make friends, he's here to make money. And then they went off the air. And of course, the memes. Okay, there's my thought. I enjoyed it. I ordered the t-shirt. It's on the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what was interesting for me, a lot of the commentators that I listened to, because I'm not going to lie, I was curious, what do they do with Punk on Monday? So I tuned into a couple of things going, what did they do with Punk on Monday? And I was like, oh, just a promo. Okay. I mean,
lots of promos.
I kind of figured there would be a promo. The main consensus that I really heard was that for a lot of them who have covered CM Punk throughout his career, a lot of them felt like this wasn't the most authentic CM Punk promo, and that the guy has been very vocal since leaving the WWE about his dislike for WWE. He's taken shots at them on other podcasts. He's taken shots at them while in AEW and in other fields. And so a lot of them, for them, it was one of his opening lines about, feeling that he was at home. It's like, well, you kind of have been trashing the place for, like 10 years. Is it really home, or is this the line that, like, the, hey, we will bring you back, but you're going to say this, And so that's where they said it is probably the biggest stretch from it. And it's the hardest thing to believe that he's coming back kind of with this slightly joyful, I'm great to be back. A lot of them said that they really understood that he was really trying to reach out and say, hey, I came back for you, the fans. Like, I miss you guys. I'm doing this for you. But that he didn't quite hit that note as best he could. And so it didn't come off quite as right. So not necessarily a bad promo, but hopefully once he can get into a program, most likely with Seth Rollins, we'll get better promos. Better Punk promos. This was probably more of the I'm sorry I screwed up promo. And yeah, he's definitely going to be probably on a tighter leash this run of WWE compared to the last time he was in WWE. But that said, the guy's a moneymaker and he's going to put butts in seats. And
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
CM Punk set a record 85 or 78 or some ridiculous numbers of millions of views in WWE social media, which broke records of The Rock, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and any other previous talent, which I'm surprised even Stone Cold that it beat that. But views on WWE social media, if only we could get a fraction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, and part of it is, he's been so vocal against WWE that, like, as I said, I myself, what did he say? I haven't seen the promo myself. That was like the one thing I didn't get around, because I was kind of like, I want to hear what the commentators are saying so I could bring a different perspective from it. I haven't had a chance to see that yet. I plan to check it out. But that was the thing that kind of was interesting to me. And as I said, I don't watch on a regular basis. I get my wrestling news from you and the occasional thing I see out there online. And I mean, it's occasional. It's a lot of junk, because there's a lot of junk in wrestling news.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a little biased.
I expected you to be, truthfully. We all have our guys, and we're willing to accept them no matter what. And I totally get it. And when your favorite wrestler comes back and you have a chance to see them in action, you're kind of willing to forgive some things if they're not necessarily the best, or in this case, they have to give a promo that's maybe not true to them. because, hey, you're getting more CM Punk in this case. I felt that way like when Foley has come back. I was just always glad to see more Foley. I thought he was entertaining. I was always disappointed when he left originally, so I wanted more. And that's the way I feel about it. And so I'll give you that. But yeah, I think that is interesting. I'm excited to see where they go from here and what they make of it, and hopefully they do something good with it. That would be my big thing. I'd love to see them do something good with it. Yeah. I think putting him against Seth Rollins, that's a big deal. Royal Rumble's coming up. Does Punk win the Rumble? Do you think that they do that? Set him up there and for like a WrestleMania match against Rollins. What do you think?
I mean, that would be pretty interesting, especially being one of the top contenders. I mean, apparently his odds are 9-1.
Yeah.
I trying to remember how many times he's won it, if he has won it.
I don't know that he's won the Rumble. Future Howard can fact check, or you can fact check. I just see it that way because if the stories are true and we're getting Reigns versus The Rock at Mania, you're not going to put The Rock in the Royal Rumble. So you're not going to have The Rock win the Royal Rumble to get that match. You can build that match easily without that. So the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to challenge Seth Rollins unless Rollins drops the title. So that's maybe where my logic is going. You know, if you're going to build to Rollins Punk, maybe you build it through the Rumble. Because you could put Punk in the Rumble, make him come off strong, give him the win, build to Rollins, you know, and easily build that as maybe his first like one-on-one match back. Could be interesting. I think the worst thing would be if it's like Rollins versus Punk at Rumble and that's it. And it's kind of a one and done. So that's just a thought. An idea. That's how I would do it, I guess. But then again, I'm not WWE creative. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other wrestling news, Kidder, as we move from Punk? Anything else catching your eye out in the wrestling sphere?
Well, CM Punk will be in Tribute to the Troops, which is a SmackDown episode this year, not its own show. Whatever, I guess, but still, like, it should be its own thing, in my opinion. But obviously, they don't care about my opinion. And CM Punk has not won the Royal Rumble 2 or 3 times. The current leader is Stone Cold with 3. Television talks coming up with Raw, SmackDown. Right now, it looks like SmackDown may be, or it is going to USA Friday nights. Raw, their contract is up in 2024 and is likely going to FX.
Interesting.
They apparently are the lead of interest. It was presented to Warner Brothers Discovery, which, of course, has TNT and TBS, and those two stations have AEW programs. Warner Brothers is not serious about purchasing anything from WWE, apparently, at this point. Which would make sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have their wrestling show. They don't really need another one.
Apparently, other people who are interested or in the running for the rights to air Monday Night Raw include USA to continue it, because I would think that would be the best option for them to have USA kind of locked down. They'd be able to have all of their shows on one network. I mean, I've never quite understood sharing different shows on different networks, thinking that you're going to get different views, because the people who want to watch your show already know about your show, especially with WWE. Like, they just need to know where to go. Netflix, Amazon Prime, and then, of course, FX. Which, if it was on Prime, I could watch it in higher resolution. So there's that.
It'd be interesting to see it on Prime. I actually watched last night, Thursday Night Football. I was down here in the cave just working on some tidying up hobby projects, and I actually watched. I'm like, just put on the football game. I haven't watched football in years. It's an okay kind of background thing, and I was really impressed with their presentation of Thursday Night Football. Like, it was actually really pretty good. But again, if it's them doing WWE, it's still going to be all of like the WWE production crew, and all of that's going to be the same. It's just airing on Prime. But if it aired on Prime, I could at least watch it.
Yeah, it's true.
Be interesting.
Mm-hmm. CM Punk is tied for a third for the most number of eliminations in a row with 7.
Yeah. I mean, he could win it. He definitely could. But it'd be something. Definitely would be something. So, yeah.
As a very, very, very random side note, I don't know. Have we talked burgers on this show before? Like hamburgers? Good burgers. We talked pizza for like an hour before, but about burgers.
We haven't ever really dove into burgers. It's been on the back of my mind for the longest time, because the director of my agency, he's not originally from here. He's from Michigan. He's worked in a lot of other places, but he really was questioning the Woodhouse when the Woodhouse was here, because they always had the sign "World's Best Burgers." He's like, that's a bold claim to have on there. And he finally went and he's like, they're not the world's best. They're probably not even the best in town.
They're pretty good, though. I think they used to be better.
Yeah. As a non-Bismarck native, I was never impressed with them. I think I've eaten there twice, and I was kind of like, I remember why I don't eat here.
I hate to break it to you that it's going to be a while till you can eat anything there, because Woodhouse is no longer.
Right.
Did you also hear that the skywalk at UND was torn down?
I did. Little Birdie told me.
No.
Yeah.
Must have been watching this show.
Yeah. No, that's why I haven't brought up burgers, because I was always going to bring it up in the context of my director says that, probably not the best in town. Kidder, what do you think is the best burgers in town? Like, I was always going to do that, and then they closed down, and I'm like, there's no point to this anymore. But I'm glad you brought up burgers, because then I could bring up this whole why I haven't brought it up in the past. And anyway, you were saying about burgers, good sir.
Well, it's kind of a side note, because we're talking wrestling and then suddenly talking hamburgers, and people watching the show are going, that's kind of normal for this show. The very unfortunate news, and by the time this comes out, it will have come and gone. The Boulder Tap House in Moorhead is closing. December 10th, the final day of operation. It is very sad, very disappointing, and it pisses me off. I've only even had the chance to eat there twice, but the first time was debatably the best burger that I have ever had.
Wow. It's a bold claim.
Yes, and you would have loved the burger because do you remember Campbell's Fresh Burgers in Grand Forks? It was in the strip mall in the south end of town. They had fresh beef, cooked to order. You could put all the toppings on your burger that you wanted. Kind of like what Five Guys is, but better. Because you could put any kind of cheese on there. You could put a bunch of toppings. They had buffalo sauce, barbecue sauce, Italian dressing, like any sauce that you wanted to put on your burger, you could put on your burger.
I hate to tell you, Kidder, I don't believe they were there while I was there. I think they came after I went to Montana.
No, they were there in 2003, 2004.
Never ate there.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, it's in one of the strip malls on the south end, and they had really good burgers. They were open for like a year, and then it wasn't sustainable. Boulder Tap House is a chain, I believe. Location in Moorhead, really good. Had a chance to eat there with one meteorologist, Hutch Johnson. And the burger was super thick and was cooked perfectly, seasoned perfectly. The toppings on it were super fresh, super crisp. The sauce was just right. The bun was fresh and soft, and the whole conglomeration of this burger was just perfect. And the second time I went there was almost exactly like the first time that I went there. Plus, you could get cheese curds or onion rings and a salad and all this extra stuff, whatever you wanted. Perfect, delicious menu, and they had a bunch of beers on tap, which, on this show is quite the thing that you need. Variety of beers. The unfortunate, disappointing news that came across yesterday is that they're closing December 10th after 8 years of operation. So, damn it, Fargoites, Moorheadians, you assholes, you should have got over there more, eating the burgers, eat the cheese curds, drink the beer, and now they got to close.
Yeah. I always hate when places like that disappear, when you get that really good spot, especially when it's not some places you can get to all the time.
Yeah. For me, I got to drive 200 miles to get to the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. I feel for you on that one. I'm trying to think of where I've had like the best burger. I've had a lot of good burgers at Sanford's, but that's in Dickinson, so that's a tough drive. And even when I lived there, I didn't go there all that often because I was trying to live cheap. I was paying for a mortgage and an apartment.
Is there also the franchise in Spearfish, or is that a different Sanford's?
No, it's the same franchise. Okay. So I grew up eating at the one in Spearfish, and then they got the one in Dickinson shortly around the time I moved up here. And so what?
We ate at Sanford's and Spearfish.
I know.
And I thought we ate at the one in Dickinson too at some point, but who knows?
Yeah. Which I still like their food. The Freddy's are the best part though. If you ask me. Here's a great story. Side tangent to this, Kidder, but probably the only example of theft that I have ever had, and I'm pretty sure I'm past the statute of limitations, so good luck getting me. When I was in Spearfish and in middle school,
get you.
One of the big things was we had a winter formal. It was called Snowball, and I went to the one year. I want to say it was It was either freshman or sophomore year. I want to say it was sophomore year. I think it was sophomore year. And me and my date, we went to Sanford's. We were supposed to meet up with a bunch of friends there. And we got there and got a table. And this was before cell phones were readily available. And we're sitting there and we ordered a thing of onion rings, like a half loaf of onion rings. I mean, when I say a half loaf, I mean, imagine like the full loaf was like a loaf of bread, size of onion rings.
So half bloomin' onion. Yeah,
except this is like if you took a bunch of onion rings and just like smushed it into like a loaf, like a size of bread.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Absolutely gross. Like soggy central. Throw that right in the trash.
It was great. Anyway, we
onion petals. They're better.
We ordered this, and we were having it, and a couple of our group joined us, and so we were sitting there eating this. Like, where's everybody else? And one of the members gets up to look, and they're over here. So we grab our thing of onion rings. We went over and joined their table because they had a table for us, and we joined. And we had our meal and paid for our meal. But what we realized was we had moved tables, and we realized it as like after we had left. It's like, wait a second. I didn't end up paying for the onion rings. Nobody had paid for them. So that loaf of onion rings just got missed in the transfer of us over. So we accidentally stole a half a loaf of onion rings from Sanford's in middle school. And I will share that.
I wouldn't say that you stole it because you did consume it. However, they didn't charge you for it. And so that's their own screw up. So it was more of a donation of thanks for bringing your business into us.
Yeah. Anyway, but I always liked their burgers. I have been really impressed because I don't get to go out to a lot of burger places because it's hard to find ones that my wife can eat at. But Red Robin, we can. To which the nearest one is in like Billings.
Yeah. And I laugh. And I think we talked about this.
But they're really good. They have a jalapeno burger that is just God, I could go for one right now. Kidder, what you up to? Do you want to drive to Billings right now?
Yeah, I can go to Outback. Screw Red Robin. That's not yum. By the way, just for the record, I'm announcing that I need a little extra, and so I'm switching to Templeton to toss this in here so then the fridge behind me isn't open for a while.
Yeah. I was going to say, Kidder, I need to get a bottle. Like, I want one good bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
Right now, all I got is the last smitten remnants of some Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey whiskey.
Just throw it out for the murder bird. Pour it out for him. Pour it for the homies on the curb. Like, this one's for our homies. Just done with it.
Anyway, not that I drink a lot of whiskey.
Yes.
But it might be nice to have like one good bottle.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
But I don't know what should I get. If I'm gonna spend some money, Kidder, and get a single bottle, what should I get?
This is a top recommendation for me. Bareface Canadian whiskey. It's elemental age. We talked about it on the show before. This makes one hell of an old-fashioned. It is phenomenal as an old-fashioned. But this is a bold, smooth flavor. And I know you like the smoother spirits and not completely bash it over your head with the alcohol. This is triple oak release in a single grain Canadian whiskey, 7-year in an ex-bourbon American, you're damn right, oak barrels. Then it's elementally aged in French oak red wine casks and air-dried virgin Hungarian oak And then when it's ready, they blend it with selected casks to create the bold, smooth, balanced whiskey with the long, complex flavors and the distinct spice flavors. So again, you're not getting the like punch from the alcohol content. You're getting the spice and the actual flavor of the whiskey. And then with the glass I had talked about before that we got in Las Vegas, that will bring out the true flavor of this. So Barefaced 7-year, and it's reasonably priced. It's not crazy. That is good. The Templeton 6-year Iowa special, that's pretty good. I mean, it sounds like that's all right, you know. No, it is good. Okay, I like to sip on it. The Glendalough, this one locally available as well, and doesn't have as much of the spice profile, so you're not getting the rye tastes. This has a little bit more of the amber and the bourbon style there, depending on if you like that. Of course, if you like blackened, that one is a spicy punch, more punchy in the face, more aggressive, more along the lines comparatively to like Jack Daniels straight. But in Arizona, tried this. I talked about the Fry Ranch whiskey rye. This one's a 6-year, and when you make it down here, we'll have to do a whiskey sampling. This one's good.
I was just thinking that, Kidder, that maybe, just maybe, I'll have to talk to Lefty. Well, and see what her schedule is. But maybe
do a show live. Oh, no, we don't need to do it.
I was going to say live. Maybe, just maybe, what we need to do is maybe I'll come down for the Rumble.
The best time of the year?
Maybe I'll come down for the Rumble. And we can do, we'll watch the Rumble. And then as we do the live show after the Rumble, because we'll be in the same spot. Yeah. I
made the motion here.
Do a a sampling of whiskey as we review the Rumble. Could be good. It's a thought. I'll have my people call your people.
Waiting for the phone to ring right now.
My people are asleep.
Believe it or not, Howard isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. He must be out or he'd pick up the phone. Where could he be? Believe it or not, he's not home.
More than likely, I'm actually home. I'm just down in my cave and ignoring you.
He doesn't like to answer the phone.
I really don't.
I mean, for a special occasion like that, I might even be open to opening the bottle of blackened rye right here.
Ooh.
Let me move the boom.
Ooh.
The blackened rye right here, or potentially the blackened 72 Seasons limited edition bottle.
I mean, this is
a smuggle back from Arizona because it's not available up here.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about this because it's been like a year, and I think I should be allowed like one premium live event a year.
2.
I'll talk to Lefty
because obviously WrestleMania is 2 nights. Do you need 2 nights? But Royal Rumble's your favorite.
Royal Rumble is my favorite. So if I'm going to catch one pay-per-view or premium live event of the year, I'd love it to be the Rumble. And so I'll talk to Lefty. That might be a way to do. But Kidder, as the show is ticking down, we're getting to
rails.
We're tending to get to the end of this. I got to talk to you about this weird trend.
Okay.
It's more of a stupid trend. And in fact, it's a great time for us to bring back one of my favorite segments, which is the Don't Do This segment.
Yeah, don't do this.
Don't do this.
So, Kidder, everybody is trying to, create content, and especially short video content that can get people watching. And what I didn't realize, or realize until recently, there's a whole market of this stuff about like dermatology and like pimple popping and weird cysts and things like that. But here's where it gets me. Apparently, it has become this trend of tick removal videos. Like people will post like went camping in the woods and didn't have a tent or sleeping bag, and so it's like here's a neck or a leg, and it's just covered in white ticks that have engorged themselves. Here's the thing, and I didn't catch this, but I caught a clip of it where it was actually a dermatologist talking about this. Apparently, people don't actually want to go out and get eaten by a bunch of ticks so that they can make one of these videos. So what they're doing is they are super gluing beans to their leg or arm or wherever they wish to have this happen, like in bunches, and I mean massive bunches, and then showing them like removing the super glued beans from their leg in order to get views.
Stupid.
I know.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone.
I don't know. Like, I know we always want more views. We wish more people would tune in. But we're not going to go to the length of super gluing beans and pretending they're ticks in order to get views. I mean, let's face it.
Well,
I super glue enough stuff to myself during the course of this show that we don't need to do that. But I had to share this because it was one of those things where I'm like, this really happens. There are people who do it. I mean, to enough, like the video that I stumbled on was some dermatologist going, all right, bean or tick. Like this was like, he was doing a whole segment where he was finding these videos and like trying to guess if it was actually beans or ticks. Like the fact that there's enough content out there that somebody's like, I'm going to make a whole sub, genre about this. I mean, it just, wow.
Stupid.
Yeah. And on that terrific note of stupidity,
would you
Kidder!
like to know something that you should know about from one Elwood to another?
Sure. Hit me.
I know you're Jake, but one Elwood to another. The Dan Aykroyd back hosting a show. It's called The Unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd. It's on the History Channel.
That is incredibly unbelievable. And on that unbelievable note, Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while. It's time we probably wrap this show up and hit it with some unbelievable cheap plugs.
Okay, let's get super cheap here. BeerBluesBS.com. It's our website. Beer, one beer, lots of blues, and lots of BS. Okay, BeerBluesBS.com. It's our website. Donate, buy us a beer, buy us a whiskey drink, buy us a malted drink, buy us a lager drink. We drink a lot of drinks, and so we would love for you to help us drink more in the future. Okay, we would appreciate that. All you got to do is go to beerbluesbs.com, click buy us a beer, bam, there it is. You can even type us a message. You see the info on the screen right here if you're watching the video version. If you're not watching the video version, you're listening to the audio version, that's okay too. We'll get your info and we put it in the show notes down below the video or the audio section. Okay? Thank you for helping support the show. Lots of people buying us drinks over the weeks, days, months, years, etc. Thank you for doing all of that. Really appreciate it. Just thinking of Local Geek. Got a couple beers left from him and his spies. Thank you, Local Geek, for keeping us lubricated, because Lord only knows we need extra vocal lubrication here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there's that. beerbluesbs.com. It's also our home for Facebook, Instagram, audio versions of the show, YouTube, then the merch store. Lots of stuff to view and see. beerbluesbs.com. Okay, please visit it and visit it often. Merch store. Click merch on there. Buy some shirts, buy some pint glasses, just like this, the Triple B glass. Bam! You get it in your cart. Buy the glass that's got me on there looking all classy and fly and stuff. I will have a water with hops and grain. And the Triple B logo. Bam! That's going to class up your storage, your cabinets, and your kitchen. Also, you can subscribe to the show, streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. That money will go directly to us as well and help us keep this show going. So, not only if you subscribe for at least $1 per month, you will get the eternal thanks of one Howard Blues and one the Mark Kidder, but you'll also help keep this show on the air. Maybe that's why nobody's subscribing or helping to pay, because they're like, we need to get rid of this thing. Don't be part of that crowd. Help us help you be entertained. Are you not entertained? That's the question. Howard actually looked. He's like, I am entertained. He's so entertained that he's painting something again, or something. What are you doing, Howard?
Hey, breaking news, Kidder. Breaking news in the middle of cheap plugs. AC/DC set to headline stadium tour worldwide in 2024. The first European dates have been revealed. So AC/DC tour of the world.
UND won 7-5. Go Sioux! All right. I've also locked in my trip to Las Vegas, Nevada for, that's right, the Star Trek convention, the 58-year mission. It's a go, baby. We're on Spotify for audio. We're on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, TuneIn, IMDb, Player FM, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We're on every podcast service that is out there for audio versions of shows. Please search Beer, Blues, and BS. Share it with your friends. Share it in your timeline. We will see it and thumbs up it. Love it. We appreciate you. Sharing is caring. All right. Where are we? Audio version, video version. Oh, YouTube podcast. We're on YouTube. Video version and audio version. Please follow us. Like, share, subscribe. Bam! Put us everywhere. Carry us everywhere. Take us everywhere. We want to be there with you. So, final thoughts, Howard. That's enough cheap plugs.
Final thought. I was going to sit here and paint, Kidder. I have done absolutely none of it. I have colors. I have a figure. I have everything set up. But that's okay, because I have enjoyed this evening and chatting with you, and I think this is going to be a great episode. I thank everybody for tuning in, and hey, you know what? This is episode 140, which means in 10 episodes, Kidder. 10! We hit the milestone of episode 150. And if you know us, when we hit these milestones, we tend to have a lot of fun. So get ready, everybody. In 10 weeks, we're going to have probably a big episode, probably get some guests on to celebrate with us hitting that milestone. And not too far after that, Kidder, we're going to hit our 3-year anniversary on this show. So some big milestones coming up. If you're just tuning in, you're in for a lot of fun as we kind of get into the spring and some of the fun that we can have with our guests. I mean, listen, if you didn't see our 2-year anniversary, I mean, like everybody was there. And I mean, everybody was there. It was quite the shindig. So yeah, some big things to look forward to.
Even Clinton Cunanan from Another Lost Year and Playing with Blacklight District showed up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know too many podcasts of our size and scale that get, a rock star or a current touring rock star to show up on your anniversary stream. It happens.
I call Richard Patrick a filter.
I mean, if you think he'd pick up the phone.
I mean, it's been a couple years, but
yeah, you're now a classic rock DJ, so clearly you got to call like Aerosmith and Tom Petty. That's a joke. That's something that was said before we before the show started. And that's what you call a callback. But unfortunately, only Kidder and I know. So we should get out of here, Kidder.
Yeah, we should. So for Howard Blues, who thinks he's funny, I'm the man, the myth, legend, Mark Kidder, saying, let's get the hell out of here. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Beer Blues BS. Keep your glass at least half full. I know this isn't half full, but it is whiskey. Good stuff. Keep it maybe a third full, but the thing is keep it at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we're going to catch you on down that living it up while we're going down Tuscan Highway. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
I can believe it. You want to know something that's a huge pet peeve of mine?
Me showing up late all the time?
Nah. That's fine. It
bothers me. Okay. It bothers me.
Listen, it's not like we have ever said, hey, we are recording exactly at, X. It's not like we have that hard fast. I mean, apparently, I don't know. Here, side tangent to my tangent. I am such the most relevant host on this show. I didn't realize that they had changed the name of Twitter to X until like maybe a day or two ago when I saw an interview with Elon Musk, and they're like, CEO of X, and they had to put in parentheses Twitter. I'm like, did they change the name of Twitter?
Yeah,
that's how like with the times I am.
Yeah, because X gonna give it to you.
Yeah. No, here's my pet peeve, Kidder.
Okay.
Because it is bothering me, and so it's what I'm working on. It's what I'm looking down for. When I paint miniatures for like a board game or any like game like that has art, I try to paint the pieces to match the art. That way, when you like get your card, for that character, I go, oh, okay, he's supposed to look like this. He has these color schemes. I can find the model out of all of the model. But here's my problem, Kidder, is when you can't find the whole art and the art that you do have is missing like half the model. So that's the art I have.
You have to cut it in half, clearly.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, he's got this really kind of cool shoulder armor.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Just cut it off.
No, it's cool. I want to paint it, but I don't know what color to paint it. And the only art I have is this bit of art on the card that doesn't have it because it's cut off. And I have spent the last, what time is it now? The last, 20-some minutes, searching Privateer Press's page, their Facebook page. On their page, when you go to the store, when it shows this figure, you know what it gives me? It gives me just the gray render of the model. This is not helpful. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. But yeah, that's my pet peeve, is when it's like, nope, sorry, we can't give you the actual color of the model that you're trying to paint. Good luck. So there's a little tangent. Anyway.
Sure.
Good. Wouldn't be the Triple B if we weren't a Ranton and a Raven.
Where are the Ravens at?
Baltimore, I believe.
Just checking. Didn't know if the murder bird asked for backup.
You never know. Although he is the murder bird, and I doubt he actually needs backup.